Hello, Mr. Elator. It's me, Stephen. This is my demonstrative speech about wakeboarding.
Hi, my name is Stephen Moore, and today I'm going to be talking to you about wakeboarding. Wakeboarding is something that you do behind a boat at a normal speed of anywhere from 20 to 24 miles an hour. The first thing you need to know about wakeboarding is you have to be able to pick a board that fits someone your size. This board is obviously too small for me. It belongs to my sister, who's only about 5'4". The basic situation with that is it has a weight limit. So if I were to try and ride this, it would automatically sink. So to start off, you need to be able to know that you need obviously a good solid pair of boots and a board that fits you, like I already said. When you put your boots on your board, you need them to set in a way that they're slightly angled so that your feet aren't completely straight forward or paralleled in. That way you have a good sense of balance if you decide to switch the board up. This is the board that I choose to ride. It doesn't have any bindings on it because I removed the ones that go from mine. This board is a 133, that's centimeters. On the back side of the board, you'll notice that it has molded-in fins, which are used for steering the board and giving you good rotation in the air, that sort of thing. If you pay attention to how much it slopes, that's called the rocker. The rocker also makes it easier for you to get more of a pop when you jump a wake, and it just makes it more fun to ride. The edge of the board has a little bit of a grip piece right here. That's so when you jump in the air, it's a good handle. You can get a hold of it when you're in the air and hold on to it pretty well. It's also for carrying it down the dock so you don't drop it a lot. The third board I have is a 136. This is for someone who hasn't been riding as long, because the longer the board will also make it easier for you to ride if you're a beginner. Now I'm going to talk to you about how to put a pair of boots on. For putting on a pair of boots, all you need are the bindings themselves, which obviously you're going to need to unless you only have 1 foot. You're kind of out of luck. You're going to need a pair of claws that will come with your bindings. You're going to need 4 of them. And you'll need a screwdriver. A Phillips works the best just because it's a Phillips head screw. What you do is you set your screws up, you set your bindings up on the board in a way that will best fit you. And it's probably better if you test it every time you ride it, you give it a little bit more of a different angle so that you can work with what feels more comfortable to you. There's multiple screw holes on the board so that you can decide how wide your stance is going to be. Once you find that out, you can set your screws in here. And I didn't bring a screwdriver today, but what you would do is you'd be able to screw these down to the board. You have to make sure they're nice and tight, because you do not want your boot coming up while you're in the air or riding, because then it's probably going to sink, and that'll cost you about $200, $300. So, that's the basics for that right there. Now, I'm going to ask for one of my lovely audience to help me out, so I can show you the basic stances on how to get up on a wakeboard. So, since I don't have any water to get into my bindings, I'm going to use the one that doesn't have any bindings on it. Phil, if you can help me out. Now, basically on a wakeboard, start standing, you're going to stand with your feet about this far apart. You want about shoulder width apart, because you have a good center of balance right here. You normally ride with your knees bent and your hips in the center. You don't want to lean too far forward. You roll forward, you don't want to lean too far back, you'll fall on your butt and get a nice water enema. So to start off with a wakeboard in the water, you're going to sit with the board like this, and it's going to be sitting right here. You're going to have the yoke of the rope in your hands. You're not going to obviously have to hold the board like I am right now since I don't have boots on. And as you come up, you're going to spin and rotate the board as you come up like that. So once you get up, you're in a good solid stance. You don't want to lean too far back. You're going to have a lot of movement going on at the front of your board, and it's going to cause you to fishtail and eventually roll over. If you lean too far forward, the front of the board will actually bury, and you'll do a nice little somersault, which everyone in the boat will laugh at you for. So yeah, that's basically the gist of wakeboarding. And I suggest that if any of you want to try something that's a lot of fun and not as much work as skiing, since this is at a lighter speed and you come up much slower, it's much more comfortable to ride, you don't cramp up as much, and the bar knees are a lot softer. So I'm Stephen Warren. That was Wakeboarding.